In recent years, a subtle but noticeable shift has occurred on the African continent. When you talk about relocation within Africa, most people are now choosing Kenya over Nigeria. It may seem surprising, especially given Nigeria's status as Africa's most populous country and its vast natural resources, but there is more than meets the eye. From digital nomads to investors, students, and even young families, people from neighboring countries and other African regions are increasingly flocking to Kenya. Why is this happening? What is it about Kenya that makes it the preferred destination for intra African migration? While Nigeria, in contrast, faces an outward migration crisis. Before we continue, I'm Teresa, and you're welcome and welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, consider subscribing. Don't forget to on post notification because that will notify you whenever I will drop new content on this channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share. So, to understand this shift, we must start by exploring the perception of safety and security. Kenya, though not without its own security issues, has consistently ranked better than Nigeria in terms of safety. Nairobi, Mombasa, and other major cities are seen as relatively stable environments. In contrast, Nigeria has been plagued by persistent insecurity from terrorism in the northeast to banditry, kidnapping, and communal clashes across the country. The unpredictable nature of the Nigerian security environment deters many Africans from considering it as a viable place to settle. Economically, Kenya presents a more diversified and growing economy that appeals to small businesses, entrepreneurs, and international companies. Nairobi is often referred to as the Silicon Savannah for a reason. It has become a hub for African tech startups and multinational tech companies like Google, Microsoft, and Amazon. The tech ecosystem in Kenya is vibrant, attracting both local and foreign talent. Nigeria has a strong tech presence too, particularly in Lagos, but infrastructural and regulatory challenges often frustrate growth and investment. Kenya offers a more stable and predictable business environment for tech innovators and investors. Another key reason is the ease of doing business. According to the World Bank's Doing Business report, Kenya consistently scores better than Nigeria in areas such as starting a business, dealing with construction permits, getting electricity, and registering properly. Foreigners and Africans alike are finding it easier to start and grow a business in Kenya, while Nigeria's bureaucratic bottlenecks, corruption, and inconsistent government policies continue to hinder enterprise. Infrastructure is another factor. While both countries have their infrastructural challenges, Kenya's government has invested significantly in its transport systems, energy, and urban planning. Projects like the Standard Gauge Railway and major road expansions have made mobility easier and more efficient in Kenya. In contrast, Nigeria struggles with deteriorating roads, unreliable electricity, and poor public transport systems, especially in major cities like Lagos and Port Harcourt, making daily life more frustrating for residents and potential migrants. Education plays a critical role in migration patterns. Kenya boasts a strong education system, especially in Nairobi and other urban centers. International schools, reputable universities, and a focus on digital literacy have attracted students and families seeking quality education for their children. Nigeria also has notable institutions, but industrial strikes, underfunding, and security threats have eroded the reliability of its education system. The frequent closure of universities due to strikes by academic unions in Nigeria has made parents and students look elsewhere, but Kenya becomes a logical choice. Healthcare is another major consideration. Kenya's health system, though not perfect, is often considered more organized and accessible than Nigeria's. Medical tourism is on the rise in Nairobi with private hospitals offering high quality services. In Nigeria, public healthcare is underfunded and private healthcare is expensive, with many doctors and nurses leaving the country due to poor working conditions. Africans looking for better healthcare solutions are more likely to consider Kenya a more suitable option. And let's not forget governance and political stability. Kenya has experienced political unrest in the past, especially during election periods. However, the country has made notable progress in democratic reforms and civic engagement. Nigeria, on the other hand, continues to struggle with governance issues, allegations of election fraud, ethnic tensions, and lack of accountability have weakened public trust in institutions. For African migrants looking for stability and a functioning democracy, Kenya appears more attractive. Environmental sustainability and tourism opportunities are also influencing migration. Kenya is known for its breathtaking landscapes, wildlife, and eco-conscious tourism industry. People who value nature, clean environments, and adventure often see Kenya as an ideal place to live. Nigeria's natural beauty is undeniable, but environmental degradation, pollution, and a lack of tourism infrastructure have made it less appealing to those seeking quality of life in nature-rich settings. Another aspect is language and cultural inclusiveness. Kenya's use of both English and Swahili offers a bilingual advantage that many Africans find accessible. Nigeria is largely Anglophone, but its linguistic diversity and regional languages can be a barrier for some migrants. Kenya's cultural integration and sense of pan-African identity make it easier for newcomers to blend in. The hospitality, especially among youths and professionals in Nairobi, has created a welcoming environment for Africans from various backgrounds. Public transportation systems in Kenya are also seen as more organized compared to Nigeria. The Matatu system, while chaotic at times, is affordable and widely available. Additionally, the emergence of ride-sharing apps and digital mobility services in Kenya has made commuting easier. Nigeria, particularly Lagos, is notorious for traffic congestion, poor urban planning, and unreliable public transport, which makes daily commuting a nightmare for many people. From a tech perspective, Kenya is a leader in mobile banking and digital innovation. The success of M-Pesa has transformed the way Kenyans conduct financial transactions. This mobile money service has made life easier for the unbanked population and small businesses. Nigeria has tried to replicate this with services like OPay and Pega, but infrastructural problems and trust issues in the financial system continue to hinder full adoption. Africans looking for financial inclusion find Kenya's system more accessible and efficient. When it comes to quality of life, Kenya's offers more in terms of green spaces, urban cleanliness, and recreational centers. Nairobi National Park, Karura Forest, and other public spaces offer residents opportunities to relax and reconnect with nature. Nigeria lacks sufficient public parks and recreational centers in its urban areas. The struggle to find clean, safe, and enjoyable spaces contributes to the stress many Nigerians feel in their daily lives, something that migrants consider when choosing a new place to live. Now, let's look at the role of social media and digital influence. Kenya has done a great job of selling itself online. From travel influencers to YouTube vloggers and bloggers, Kenya's urban life, wildlife, and culture are constantly showcased in positive light. This shapes perceptions and influences decision making. Foreign investment is another telling metric. Kenya continues to attract substantial foreign direct investment, particularly in renewable energy, infrastructure, and ICT. These investments generate jobs and create opportunities. Nigeria, while also attracting foreign investors, is often bogged down by government policies, forex instability, and corruption. Investors may come, but many leave due to the unpredictability of the Nigerian business environment, which indirectly affects job seekers and professionals considering relocation. For many Africans, especially from East and Central Africa, geographical proximity and cultural familiarity also play a role. Countries like Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania share closer ties with Kenya, and the East African community facilitates easier movement among member countries. Nigeria, though a West African powerhouse, is isolated from this bloc and doesn't benefit from the same level of regional integration. Thus, it's easier legally, culturally, and geographically for many to move to Kenya. Cost of living is also a factor. While Nairobi can be expensive, the relative affordability of food, housing, and services compared to Lagos or Abuja makes it more livable for middle class Africans. In Nigeria, the high inflation rise, rising food prices, and unreliable power supply increase the cost of living significantly. Many Africans choose Kenya because it offers better value for money in their day-to-day life. In addition, there is a growing number of African expat communities in Kenya, which makes settling in easier. Whether you are from South Sudan, Ethiopia, or Zimbabwe, you are likely to find a support system in Kenya. These communities help new migrants find accommodation, navigate the system, and even access jobs. Nigeria's population is massive and diverse, but it's often every man for himself. Without a well organized support system for migrants, newcomers can feel lost and overwhelmed. Media freedom and freedom of expression in Kenya also play a part in attracting people. The country has a lively media landscape, while investigative journalism and public discourse are encouraged. Nigeria, though it has a strong media tradition, has seen increasing crackdowns on press freedom and social media regulation. Africans who value the ability to speak up and engage politically find Kenya more accommodating in that regard. Also, we cannot ignore the emotional and psychological angle. When Africans look at Kenya, they see hope, innovation, and progress. When they look at Nigeria, many see chaos, frustration, and lost potential. This perception, whether fully accurate or not, affects decisions. People naturally gravitate towards places that symbolize opportunity, peace, and upward mobility. Kenya has managed to build that image, while Nigeria struggles with managing its internal narrative. Religion and religious tolerance can also influence migration. Kenya has a relatively peaceful coexistence among religious groups, and state religion is not emphasized. In Nigeria, however, religious tensions between Muslims and Christians have often led to violence, especially in the Middle Belt region. This tension discourages migrants who are wary of being caught in religious or ethnic conflict. Kenya's diplomatic posture is also friendly. It has cultivated strong relationships with its neighbors and has actively positioned itself as a neutral hub for international discussions, peacekeeping, and humanitarian work. Nigeria, though influential, has a more complicated diplomatic posture, especially within ECOWAS. Kenya's openness makes it easier for Africans and even international NGOs to operate from its soil. Finally, let's talk about youth empowerment. Kenya has made strides in youth inclusion in government, innovation, and community development. Programs like Nigeria Digital and partnership with global tech firms are opening doors for young Kenyans. Nigeria has a vibrant youth population, but many feel neglected, frustrated, and voiceless. So, in conclusion, Africans are moving to Kenya and not Nigeria because of a complex combination of factors: safety, opportunity, ease of doing business, healthcare, education, digital innovation, and the overall quality of life. Kenya, despite its challenges, has managed to brand itself as a land of opportunity within Africa, Nigeria unfortunately continues to battle structural issues that make it less attractive for intra-African migration. If Nigeria wants to reverse this trend, it must address these concerns head on. So thank you for watching. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Let's keep the conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comment below. Would you move to Kenya or Nigeria and why? Let us know.